So we're here today to talk about data input and outputs. Traditionally, how have we communicated? People used to scream at each other, right? Animals scream at each other with their voices. That's the way we communicate. With images, with looking at things. You guys familiar with cats, how cats communicate with each other? Does anyone know? Smell is one thing that all animals use, but cats actually communicate by blinking their eyes. So if you ever want a cat to approach you, just blink your eyes at the cat, and the cat will instantly fall in love with you and will start approaching you and think that you're wonderful. Okay? Who knew, right? How do dogs communicate? Do dogs blink? Huh? They wag their tails. Okay? They're expressive with their bodies. And other dogs understand that very well. If a dog comes in and there are two dogs, they have to prove which one's going to be boss. One dog's going to roll over on its back and play dead. Right? He's going to put up his paws in the air, and he's going to be submissive to the other dog. How come we have lost these capabilities? What about a bee? How does a bee know what flower to go to? By scent. They can't see, but they can sure smell. There are people that say, and I don't know what the truth is on this because I've seen a lot of different research on it, but there are people that say that a bee can smell from a distance of over 4 kilometers. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. But I think it's an interesting fact. And then, yes, you're right. They do use color to actually decide which one they're going to go to, and there are a lot of other inputs that they utilize. We're not even clear as to how bees work. They're such complex creatures. But it's pretty amazing. We have all these different inputs that are out there that all these different creatures utilize. What about taste? Okay? You know, we're all creatures of habit. We like to eat, right? But traditionally, eating has always been something in the wild that shows hierarchy. Okay? That enables you to take different groups and say, okay, who's the boss? Okay? Whoever's the boss gets the best parts of the meal, gets to eat, okay? While other people will wait or take the scraps. And in fact, if you look at carnivorous animals, you'll see that, you know, maybe the lion gets the first shot, but then the hyenas will come over and take over the scraps, and the vultures will come and take over the rest, okay? Until you go all the way down to insects that take and break everything down until there's nothing left. And each one of these creatures uses lots of different means of understanding what's going to happen and what's their role and when they can get involved in the process. But look at us. We wanted to simplify things, right? Okay, we like things simple. We like to put things in boxes. We like to put things in charts. We like to organize things. It makes it easier for us to deal with things. And so we simplified and focused in on 2 specific areas for communicating. Speech and text. And for 3,000 years, it's worked pretty well, right? I mean, you guys have jobs because of this, right? But you know, when you think about how text actually evolved, it actually underwent an interesting process. Text evolved from pictures, from people taking pictures, and again, trying to go back to that old paradigm of putting things in boxes, of simplifying things. And they simplified it into text. Okay, they went from pictures to letters that were representative of the pictures, okay, and the sounds maybe that represented those things, and they started to build alphabets, or in the case of China, they just took the whole word and they tried to make the word into a picture, okay, take a concept, put it into a picture, and then they forgot about it. And for 3,000 years, that's the way things have been working. And up until now, not too bad, okay? But we have a bit of a problem. We've forgotten the other forms of communication. And now they're coming back. Now, not everybody forgot. Rock stars know how to do it. Actors know how to do it. Artists, okay? They can all use many different types and ways of communicating without using words and without using pictures to get their message across. In fact, they know how to trigger emotions. inside people. And when we look at what's happening in the advertising industry for the past 50 years or so, they've slowly been moving along the emotional path to get people to purchase products based on emotional responses. And text was good because it stayed around for a long time, was easily referenced, right? Okay. It was portable, you could take it anywhere. And then we started taking all those different things and we started increasing the amount that we needed to store. We were able to start photocopying, putting things on microfilm. Okay. And then we were able to build tables and lots of other things. Okay. And we needed better ways to store the information, so we moved away from the scrolls and we started going to digital data. Okay. We started putting things on disks, on hard drives. But then something happened about 15 years ago. Maybe a little bit more. The types of information that you started to store were no longer text. The size and the amount of information that you needed to store grew exponentially because people were taking pictures, people were taking videos, people were making them digital. And that's really nice. And if you know what the video is and you want to search for a particular video on YouTube because you know the name, that's great. But what if you don't know the name anymore? You just know that there was a video out there that was cool and was interesting and you saw it once. And in your mind, you can picture it perfectly. And you can even describe the scene to somebody else. But the search engine doesn't know how to find it because it doesn't know how to take your description and match it with what's there. Cool car, jumped over a ramp, wonderful romantic scene on the beach. Okay, there are too many things out there. You know exactly what it is, but you have no way of communicating that to the computer. So as time's gone on, we've managed to go to bigger bandwidth. Okay, we have bigger screens. We can view everything in beautiful color. Much better than those old monochrome monitors that they had 20 years ago, right? Okay. And we're now entering an era of mobility, where we can take the information with us, and we can access it anywhere we are. Okay? In fact, we're reaching a point in time where everything becomes augmented, where I can take everything and I can put a layer over all the information that's in front of me that my own senses are witnessing. And I'm able to start interacting with information in ways that I don't need to use text in order to search for it. We have a complete paradigm shift in terms of the way in which we're accessing information today. Today we're actually able to use something like Shazam. How many of you guys know what Shazam is? Okay, have you used it? Yeah. Why don't you tell everyone what it is?
Can I do it in Hebrew?
Yes.
זה פשוט אפליקציה ותוכנה שאתם יכולים לזמזם שיר ששמעתם, פשוט לא יודעים את השם שלו, ואז הוא מתחבר לקטלוג, הוא פשוט אומר לכם מה זה היה השיר, וזה עובד.
The beauty is that if I use Shazam and I hear a song on the radio, I can press a button, and next thing I know, it'll tell me which song it is, who the artist is, where I can buy it. Some cases, maybe even the lyrics and other things like that. Okay. Today with visual, okay, I can take my phone, okay, using Google goggles and lots of other technologies that I'll get into in a second, and I can walk around with my phone and I can see what it is that I'm looking at. It'll tell me, you're looking at the Empire State Building, you're looking at Goldman Sachs, you're looking at the Chrysler Building, okay, you're looking at the Kotel. I have location sensors in my phone. My phone automatically knows where I am. And that's how it helps me determine what I'm looking at, what's around me. It knows the direction that I'm looking at because it has a magnometer in it. It has gyroscopes, so it knows which direction I'm actually holding the phone. Okay? It has connectivity, so I have access to all that information that I no longer have to store locally, but I can keep it in the cloud. There are so many external add-on sensors that I can now add to a phone. Okay? How many of you guys know what Square is?
Foursquare?
Not Foursquare, Square. Square is an add-on device that I plug into the headphone jack of my phone, And now I can swipe a credit card onto my phone, so I have a terminal that I can carry with me to accept credit card payments anywhere I am. This is real, this is live, this is a very powerful company in the United States today. How about iBreath? Can anyone guess what that does? How many of you guys still?
Level?
Exactly. I can now take and use my phone as a breathalyzer. So I can analyze if I'm drunk, or if it thinks I'm drunk, or if the police stop me if they'll think I'm drunk, so that I won't get a ticket on my way home from a party. The last thing over there on the corner is a sensor that smells. It smells chemicals. It can actually sense what chemicals are in the air and what the concentrations are. This over here is an infrared plug-in that plugs into the top of the phone. So now I can use my phone as a remote control for my television. This down here is one of my favorite that just came out last week. It's a kissing device. Okay? I can kiss on one end, and wirelessly via my phone it will send to the other device so the other person can feel how I'm kissing.
That will kill humanity.
And then this thing in the middle here.
This is the one that you kissed?
No. This stuff down here.
Oh.
This is what we call a quadricopter, which can be controlled